When you meet somebody for the first time, it's always like positive and interesting and engaging and exciting, and you're just like so motivated to go further and further and further into the relationship because you finally found that one. You finally found that person that you spend your life with, and you begin to make plans, and you begin to get even more excited, and you begin to feel good that you're in a relationship. But usually a series of things happen, and whether or not you have the ability to let it go or work through it, but that thing has happened. And what has happened was that the illusion of a perfect relationship is now over, and the real work begins to build your relationship. What happens more than not in the Black community is that when that actual point happens, the relationship is over. We give up on our partners because we don't know that it's real work to be in a relationship. It's hard work to be in a relationship. And what are you going to do when that person gets familiar with you? It's different when your lover becomes familiar with you, because familiar, the etymology of familiar is familia, Latin for family. So familiarity is something that happens between friends. You get closer with a person, and after you get close with this person, you end up either succeeding or failing. If you go into a relationship and you imagine that familiarity does not breed contempt, then you are subject to find that actual point, and that's going to be your escape route. Somebody is going to cheat. Somebody is going to get angry. Somebody is going to not live up to the expectation. Somebody is going to fall short. Somebody is going to become inconsistent. And these what really make you a relationship worthy candidate. Not if y'all hit it off in the first date. The first date is actually easy as fuck. You just going in there blind. So you go in there blind. You talk about a bunch of mumbo jumbo. You talk about family, career, money, and you're never really understanding that. I think it's really important. Detroit Alchemy, if y'all don't know her, y'all should follow her. Her husband, he got a podcast, or a boyfriend, I don't know, her partner, significant other, he got a podcast called Why Lie. And on his podcast, he talk about their first date. And he say, in the first 5 minutes, he just gave her everything about him. And then he say, that's the worst that I got. If you can stay with me through this, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but if you can stay with me through this, everything else is good. And that's real. Imagine if you go into your first date and you give her the best that you got. You kind of capping and you kind of lying to her because you know you. So you got kids. You got a fucking baby mama that you still fuck with from time to time, or whatever the case may be. You might want to get that shit out first, because I'm telling you, what tends to happen, man, we have these expectations and these illusions in our relationships, and that's the problem. Not that they don't succeed. Not that our partners don't love us. Not that something is wrong with us. We ugly or this or that. We just don't understand that every single day that you're in a relationship, you got to look at your partner like it's the very first day that you've seen them. Like rediscovering the relationship between me and my wife. I talk about my wife all the time, but yet and still I'm finding deeper levels of love and intimacy. Like, I'm not the cuddling type. I'm not the hold a girl type or no shit like that. But as of late, I find myself really enjoying just cuddling or just spending time with my wife or just talking to her, getting to know her, like seeing her growth, seeing her development as a new thing. And like, if you honestly want to think about challenging yourself in your relationship, can you start over? Because it's not that me and my wife have some trying times between us. And that's mainly because familiarity breeds contempt. But ultimately, you got to ask the partner in the question, do you want this relationship to end? More than not, they don't. But us as black youth, I'm talking about from 35, probably from like 39 and younger, we haven't been taught how to sustain and maintain relationships, because all we know how to do is go into relationships with expectations, and we're looking for somebody to meet our expectations, and we're not looking to thrive in our relationships. How do we thrive in our relationships? By simply being authentic in them. Like, somebody has to know you for you, your fuckery, your bullshit. And if you're not aware of your fuckery, you're not aware of your bullshit, it's going to come out. And when it comes out, that person develops contempt. Now, what is contempt? The etymology of contempt is con, which is with, and tempt, which is scorn. The overall definition is disobedience or disregard. So quite naturally, when you get tested in your relationship, the first thing to do is to disregard the relationship. And you got to ask the partner and ask yourself, do you actually want that to occur? And if you don't want that to occur, then you have to start over. Because if you find yourself in a relationship where you done had sexual bonding with this person, there is a good thing that exists within your bond, or else y'all wouldn't have had sex. Now, familiarity breeds contempt, and you need to realize that. Like, you might get bored with your partner, you might get bored with yourself, but that's not your partner's fault. It's not your fault. It's more of an education or ignorance that exists within us. Like, we could never know what we don't know. But if we can just simply open our eyes to today is very important. When you wake up, my partner, the one who I'm laying in this bed with, is hella important. So how can I love on them? How can I treat them to the highest of the utmost? Because this is my one and only true partner. And if you're not in that place, you will be in that place. Because we always, first dates is easy. And you can't really get to enjoy somebody. You can really get to know somebody, get to learn somebody. But it doesn't happen through not overcoming the issues and the turmoil that exists within us, because we all have it within us. We all have a pain or a hurt or a sadness that we may be projecting on our partner. So if we're not able to communicate it through shadow work, through authentic, honest communications, this is my bullshit, I'm working on my bullshit, help me be accountable for my bullshit, then that bullshit exists and it grows and it grows. And now you become somebody that either doesn't want a relationship, or that person doesn't want you to be in a relationship with. So please, and this could be a message that doesn't have to be in relationships. It could be in your job, the job that you loved at the beginning because it was new to you and you are learning new things and was challenging yourself to learn new things and to push yourself. Now you might come to a plateau and you know what you need to do. You either need to demote yourself or promote yourself to switch up the routine. That's the spring equinox. It's very important to set new intentions, but a new intention can represent something old. You can look at that old thing with the new perspective. And this is another way we can look at spring equinox. We can have new relationships out of old relationships. We can have new jobs out of old jobs. It's very tiring and it's very stressful and it's very pressured to just want and desire and need. And a lot of times y'all be looking good as fuck. A lot of y'all just be fucking magnificent looking, like spectacular looking, like, just fucking gorgeous, right? Just rest in that energy. Take a bath. You know what I'm saying? Throw in a nightgown. Look at your silhouette. You feel me? Enjoy your energy. Enjoy your beauty, because that's the way that you charging your electrons. You are the goal. But ultimately, once you have that, like, even down to the point of looking at yourself as a new person or a new energy or a new entity, but it's still the same old you, right? So happy spring equinox to y'all. I just wanted to share a message of positive and high vibrations that might help somebody who might be struggling at this time. So hopefully this resonated with you and you're able to pour into your partner and not give no excuses, right, of why you shouldn't or why you are not going to pour into your partner. So peace, much love from me, and I'll see y'all later.